YouTube, chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
Listen, Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Wait just a minute, everybody. Hold up. Pump the brakes. People. We got a last-minute entry for Crash Out of the Year. Big Ellie is back, and once again, you guys, he's in rare form hitting on another media personality. Now, Elliott Wilson had a very interesting 2024. He started off the year beefing with Kai Cenat, all because he felt like Kai Cenat was not a media platform. Elliott Wilson dissed Kai Cenat after Nicki Minaj appeared on the streaming platform. He also beefed with Charlemagne after Charlemagne called the mods for trying to beef with Kai Cenat. Then, of course, you guys know about Elliott Wilson and how he feels about Drake. After Drake gave him one of the biggest interviews on his podcast, the Rap Raider podcast, Elliott Wilson is officially done with Drake. Drake actually dissed him earlier this year. This came after Elliott Wilson was trying to clown Drake for sitting down with Bobby Altoff. And now to end off the year, Elliott Wilson is picking on Camron to beef with. And if you guys know Cam is not the person you want to go at. Now, Elliott Wilson did an interview with Rory and Maul's podcast, and unfortunately, somebody gave him a little bit too much to drink. And you guys know that media personalities and alcohol do not mix. You guys know the saying, a drunk mind speaks sober thought? We actually got to see how Elliott Wilson feels about Camron and the success he's having with his podcast. Which is crazy because Camron told us, yo, I started this podcast with my own money. I didn't have any investors to give me money for it. This podcast was literally something I came up with in my living room. Here's what he said.
I just was arguing with on the phone for like 2 hours about sports, and I'm like, when I get off the phone, I would look, it'd be like 2 hours and 25 minutes. I'm like, and I'd be mad. And I'm like, I need to put that energy somewhere where I can make some money from it, because sports and politics are never going anywhere. So you have people doing podcasts, they'll be in their kitchen, in their living room, on their couch, or their headphones or whatever. And then you had ESPN, which was really, really professional, and there was nothing in between that. And so what I said to myself was, I'm going to take about $200,000 out of my own money. I'm going to build a set. I'm going to wear a suit, get a host, a female host, and another counterpart to argue with me about sports. And it'll look professional, but we're going to talk how we talk in the barbershop or the liquor store or the gambling spot or anywhere that urban America is that argues about sports. Because if you walk into a barbershop, it ain't ESPN. They really intense. They arguing about sports. So I thought I put those two things together, and that's how I started off.
Well, after seeing all the success Camron had with his podcast, Elliott Wilson says, nah, dog, I don't like that shit. It rubs me the wrong way. I feel like you don't deserve the success that you're having right now. And on top of that, I feel like it should be me, not you. Here's Elliott Wilson speaking on Camron's podcast.
There is still a side, and those people that could do great interviewers are now becoming the media.
Yes. Everybody's media. Summer Walker's media. Cameron's running like he's Stephen A. Smith. It's what we're dealing with.
Why are you saying like he's Stephen A? Why he not running around like Cameron?
He's Cameron to be that.
That's what people be mad at you about when you say shit like that.
Which I think he should lean into. Be
hate.
the old villain.
OD, that was hate.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I think people be mad at you.
Oh, it's hate.
Cam is running around like he's Stephen A. Smith. No,
why is he a sports journalist? Because he has an opinion? Why?
But
him and Mace have proved to have a good opinion that people care about.
He got Mace having a job and really like check because the bag is there.
Was a pastor.
But Elliott, you don't think that we all come from the culture of we all sit around in our neighborhoods in front of our buildings?
But Mom don't make you a journalist.
But I'm just saying we all sit around in our groups with our friends and talk about
our
sports,
opinions, yes.
music. That's
Absolutely.
all. That's all these guys are doing right now.
But that's not fair. Is Shannon Sharp a journalist?
No, but that's the
Or
easier
does he have
bridge.
experience from it?
That's where the athlete becomes the media. That's the easier Charles Barkley. That's easier transition.
So why is it easier for the athlete but not the artist?
It's not easier, but I don't like it because, like, you imagine, like, this is the shit I do well, and not everybody want to do it, and they get the celebrity off that shit.
You don't like it because you feel like they're not coming to the journalists to have this conversation.
I'm real with that.
Which affects your bottom line.
The best I ever do is me with that. So then you want to be that off celebrity of what. So I can talk about that. I don't like that shit, and not be a hater. Yeah. It's reality.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
You don't like it because you don't think they're good at it.
I know I'm better at it.
Okay.
It's me. It's my life.
Okay.
But Elliot, what
Imagine
would make
it.
you better at it? Because in this day and age, it's just not about getting the information right. It's about who's more entertaining. So who are you to say I'm better at this than them when what
I'll
they're
prove
looking
it to you.
for
I'm better than
is
you.
completely
Like I'm the best. I'm more informed.
Are you better at telling a story? Are you better
100%.
at getting accurate
They're not better.
information?
Like that shit cringeworthy. I watch that shit. It's not good.
Yo,
Shit ain't
But
popping.
this-
it ain't popping.
I don't agree.
This takes-
What's the Camron interview? Was like, yo, Camron really asked the questions. Like, what are you talking about? No.
But what interview did Cam take away from something of let's say we're the hip hop ilk? Even if Maul and I aren't journalists, we're still in hip hop media. You are a hip hop journalist. What interview did Cam take away from us?
They have celebrity has access to different things that I may not have. And again, I do feel like they underperform.
See, I think I have to push
Every
back. I have to
time.
push back
No?
there because you have had 25 years of relationships with
30,
publicists,
30,
PR interviews.
30.
The three majors where Cam is a
30.
celebrity and has, relationships for him being in the game for 30 years. But you have direct relationships with the majors that the rest of the podcasting world never had. So you
Okay.
still do have that. I think we have to go back to the period at the end of the sentence of what the fans want. And with Cam or Young Miami, maybe they just want to be entertained. With Kai, they just want to be entertained. They don't
No,
want to be
but Raw
informed.
is
They don't
the-
want to be informed.
The access goes to them above me. That's the problem I have. That's what it comes down to. You see what I'm saying? Because it seems sexy. Like, yo, Cam's the sports reporter now. Hey, woo.
Okay, but let's not act like
Right?
that's not always been hip hop or entertainment at the time. We've seen things that were hot and then failed immediately, but at that time, that was the hot shit that people went to.
And
That's like any genre.
They don't have to fail. It's all good. They can do their thing. I'm just saying, like, yo, I'm competing. I want a shot. I'm in this. I'm still here. I want to compete.
But that goes back.
But now you sound like the old nigga in the park that don't get picked up no more.
And I don't want to be that. You're right.
Yeah, but I'm not.
stop being that.
And I'm not saying that you are that because
It's all good.
I know your work.
Yes.
I'm from New York City. I know Elliott Wilson's work.
You always shifted with that. Then when the blogs came, even though you pissed off Nah Right and everyone else because they felt like you were late to the party, to the regular consumer, you
They
weren't.
hated Rap Radar, right?
Rap Radar came.
Oh, my God.
But then how all those bloggers viewed you, I think is how you're viewing someone like Camron. Because you have all the connections and relationships that maybe SK, Low, Mech, and them didn't have. But you still looked like somebody that was at the forefront of shifting to blogs. Then we made podcasting popping. Then Rap Radar podcast came, and you took God knows how many interviews from us. But you continue to adapt.
Will
So
Smith
that's why
pulled up?
that's why I'm shocked to hear the things that you're saying now, because I've only known you to adapt.
God damn, that was some elite hatred right there. Keep in mind, these two guys are in different lanes. Elliott Wilson does media podcasts in relation to music. Camron does media podcasts in relation to sports. Completely different lines of work that never has to cross. I don't know which interviews Elliott Wilson feels like Camron took away from him. Surely it's not Floyd Mayweather, Thanasis Antetokounmpo, or Roy Jones Jr. Now, of course, Camron has had a couple rappers on his show. Recently, he had 50 Cent on his platform, but that has nothing to do with you, Elliott. People enjoy Camron's podcast because it's funny and also it's authentic. And on top of that, not even to glaze him, but he's got a pretty good personality too. All these things go a long way in having a very successful podcast. Now, I get it. You get more traction when you're hating on people these days. And I think Elliott Wilson wants to continue to take on the role as a villain in hip-hop. And I'm cool with that. But my thing is, don't apologize when the person comes back at you. If you want to be the villain, you gotta take it all the way. You gotta embrace it. Embrace the hate. Matter of fact, you gotta go on 10 other platforms to double down on your hate for Camron. No backtracking in 2025. Nah, you gotta follow through, Elliott. You guys get in the comments below. What do you guys make of Elliott Wilson's comments about Camron? Do you guys think it's warranted or is this just pure hate? Post your comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video. I'll see you guys later, man.